here and I'm talking about manifesting, and I have you guys on here on TikTok. I have YouTube, which I'm working on growing, and also Instagram. And so I have a bunch of things going on. Yeah, I've heard that. As I was younger, I heard that, especially when my hair was curly. Now it's pulled back and straight. And yes, I have hair. My hair is pulled back. I just have to wash my hair. This is my hair. Um, just in case anybody wants to talk about my head. I've heard it all. My mom says that's my beauty spot. And it's a great thing to wear for wigs if I decide to, because you know what? You got so much forehead. You don't have to worry about your hairline, which this is my hairline. You get what I'm saying? And you have that wig goes right on the forehead. You're protected. You don't have nothing to worry about. You get what I mean? And wrinkles, when I'm relaxed, the wrinkles, they don't show up. But if I do this, then you can see it. You know what I mean? But it just has a lot to stretch. You know what I mean? So, oh, I appreciate it, Milo. And I sending you love to whoever's sending me love. Way appealing than most on here, and you don't have that much makeup on either, so a good queen. And by the way, my name is Gigi Star, and it's short for Regina, which is reigning queen. And I actually talk about things. I actually do talk about things that make sense. I'm not a feminist, so you might hear me say stuff that may be triggering for those of you that may be feminists. And I actually talk about manifesting and I talk about how to utilize manifesting to your advantage and how to get things that you want. Um, and also the laws of manifesting and how they work. Okay, so I'm about to go live on Instagram. Discard this video. I'm putting it up. Let me see if I can go to my other page and see if anybody's on there. And oh, please log back in. I don't know what happened. That's so sad. So, if you guys are actually here and serious about learning about manifesting, and I mean like real manifesting, not that little woo woo thing that, I'm just going to be really nice and talk about really nice, airy fairy things. Um, and stuff that don't make sense. Like if you have questions, like serious questions when it comes to manifesting, and you wonder why things are the way they are, but then you have like your religion that gets in your way and all that kind of stuff. I actually will dispel all of those types of curiosities. And if I don't know the answer, I will definitely let you know that I don't know the answer. I was not brought up with the church, but Christianity and manifesting, they are the same thing. They just kind of wonked it out and they've Kardashianed it. For those of you that know what Kardashians means, then you understand what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, I'll just explain to you this way that somebody liked something that somebody else did and they were like popular and they were like, "Oh, I love that." I think Bill Burr just had like his comedy and it was like woke. He said those are black people that said woke. And then they were like, "Woke. Oh, what is that?" And then now it became a thing and now everybody's woke and nobody's awakened. Two different things. So it's like that. And then somebody made it popular and then it became this morphed thing that has nothing to do with what it was supposed to be, if that makes sense. So you saw Bo Derek in the 70s with cornrows, and then everyone's like, "Oh, it's nice." And then Kim Kardashian was like, "Oh, I love the cornrows." And then everyone was like, "Kim Kardashian invented cornrows." And other people were like, "Wait a minute, I'm sorry. Wait, what? Wait a minute. Wait, what?" And people were like, "Yeah, no, no. Kim K invented it." Now think about Christianity that way, where it started out as one thing and then it changed into something else. And then the laws and rules of it have been morphed into a whole other thing. So I talk about those laws and rules and I bring truth or bring light to what is now in the dark. And if it's offensive, if you're a Christian, um, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of stuff that has been taught in church as well as other religions because they are all based off the same thing. It comes from the Kemetic which goes to the Hermetic, and Kemetic is from Egypt, and Hermetic is Kemetic is Egyptian, and Hermetic is Greek. Okay, and the Greeks were very close to Egypt, and they really liked it a lot. And then, as history goes, when somebody is in rule, their stuff trumps all. And then, whatever they know, everybody else will start to embrace and take on as fact, even if it's not exactly so. So, okay, let me see. Somebody was asking some questions, and I appreciate you guys asking questions and that kind of stuff. What did you say about Christianity? Christianity is something that I did not grow up with, and is not exactly telling you the entire truth, because the people that are teaching you about it, they don't exactly know the entire truth themselves, and there's a lot of control and a lot of money in it. If you guys ever travel, I've gone to different places around the world, and if you ever go to Colombia, and you go to Medellin, they've got a place where there's a church, and there's a large balcony. And in Medellin, there's a lot to do with, like, in the olden times, balconies meant wealth. And in that area, there's a church with the largest balcony in South America, largest one, and that's the church, and that means a lot. I'm Muslim, but I'm in my religion. There isn't a literal word for manifesting, but there is a dua. Muslim, the Muslim religion is also talking about the same thing that manifesting is about. I don't know the Quran, but I do know that when you are listening, or you're talking to other Muslims about stuff, before, I guess the honorable, because I don't want to disrespect anybody, the honorable Prophet Muhammad, they have their Quran, and they've kind of done what a John Smith kind of did. And there's stuff that's going on in there, talking about what you need to do with your mind and how you need to be, so that you can get guided. All the books do this, all the religions do this. And I try not to talk too much about religions because I don't know them all, and I really like to talk about facts. However, I'm telling you that the sciences, math, religion, all of them are based off of manifesting, and they've separated the worlds. And it seems like they're two different things, but they are not. And it actually is to people's detriment. Okay. Yes, mind control is a very profitable business. So, for those of you that stuck around, um, I talk about stuff when it comes to, if you want things in your life. Sometimes people are like, I want money, I want a woman, I want a man, all that sort of stuff. You can do these things, but one of the first things that has to happen is that you have to recognize who you are, and that you have a lot more control than what you are taught. And once you start to recognize that, you recognize the thoughts that you're keeping are struck against yourself, and your thoughts will solidify into reality. Now, that sounds like, what are you talking about? Your thoughts are solidifying to reality. Your thoughts create your reality. Now, example is the phone that you're looking at me on right now. Your thoughts, somebody's thoughts, decided it would be really cool if I can communicate with somebody and I was not in the room. Light bulb. Graham. And then all of a sudden we start to get ways of being able to talk to people without being in the same room. And now we have a cell phone. So it morphed into all these things, but it all starts out with a thought. Right. Jesus Christ, by the way, because I love when the Christians come on and say, Jesus Christ loves you. What does Jesus Christ mean? Who is Jesus Christ? According to the religions or Christianity, it's different than what it started out as. Okay, Yod He Vav He. Yod He Vav He is Jesus, and the Christ is when you have crossed over from where you were to where you wanted to be. And if you do not do that, you have sinned. And sin does not mean a negative thing. It just means you have missed the mark. It means you weren't able to accomplish the thing that you had in your mind that you wanted to solidify into reality. So you rise up from the dead and you resurrect yourself. You are Jesus Christ. You are Jesus Christ. Um, According to mental alchemy, which started out as what we now know as Christianity. That's the thing that's the Kardashian part. Jesus Christ became something outside of you, but it all started out as you. Who's Jesus Christ? I guess, yeah, cool crabs. Nobody is Jesus but Jesus, which is you. Well, the Jod Hey Vav Hey is you. I mean, we can go at this all day. I mean, because you believe in what Christianity has told you. And Christianity, as I said to you before, is a very controlled thing. And they really, really, really like that you don't read for yourself, but rely upon them. That's probably why they kind of molested the children in the Catholic Church, because people do not know. Hi, Don. Hi, how are you? Because people do not know how to think for themselves in that area. You know, you got a predator. There's lots of predators, and they will take advantage of you and ruin your whole entire shit because they can, especially if you don't know. So, anyways, and I'll be happy to talk and like real talk. By the way, I have a class that I teach that's free, and I talk about manifesting, and you guys can ask the questions and we can have a back and forth and have a real conversation. And I also do these lives as well. I've been doing it every day. Sometimes, well, a lot of times I get trolls. Sometimes I stay around and they think that they can really troll me, and then they end up staying because I end up calling them out on their loneliness and their sadness. And people really want somebody to connect with. And people have not had a chance to really have that kind of real connection and real conversation. Um, and it's kind of sad. But I'm here for that reason because I have as well been extremely lonely and understand what it is, except I've never trolled anybody. Okay, that's good. No, yeah, I didn't like that, but I really find your topic interesting. Do you know anything, Milo, about manifesting? If you were brought up with the church in America, sometimes it can be a bit confusing for some people, and you have this faith towards something that most of the time people have not ever investigated themselves. Um, just being Jen, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Happy Friday, scrolling through it, all lives, going giving roses just because. Stay blessed. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. I love flowers. Um, but when I was growing up, I had bone cancer, and I'm talking about like the one that you see those kids on St. Jude, and they're like, oh, because when people are like, you look bald, like I'm like, oh, do you want to know what bald looks like? Because I have a picture. That's the only surviving picture. My aunt has saved it, and I tell you, it was not fun losing all your hair and not being able to go to school and being isolated and just sick and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, I don't have cancer anymore. And I don't call myself a cancer survivor. I call myself a medical field survivor. And I'm going to be really, really honest about it. You cold girl. Okay, I guess. Isn't like what's cooler than being cool, like ice cold? Or are you saying muy frío, like I'm really cold, like I'm freezing? I don't know. So anyway, when it comes to the stuff that I've gone through and going to a church because they were like, hey, pray around all the sick children and whatever, get the children in the center and help them get blessings, and recognizing that these kids did not want to hold my hand because I was sick, and nobody likes sickness. And it's kind of freaky, especially when you see like my skin was not as it looks like right now. It was like more of a dark greenish color. It was just really bad. You started to recognize there is something that's really fake and phony about this. Although the architecture is really amazing, there's a lot of questions that I've got, and nobody's making sense. Why did I end up having cancer? And why did all these things happen to me? And why are they really fake? Like you can really feel the fakeness about it. So, Hi, Malika, bad boy. I think that's what it is. Um, I started to recognize I had a lot of questions and nobody had answers. So I started to do some investigating. And I found my answers and I figured out what was going on. And I mean, I don't know all the answers, but I know a lot more than what you're taught in the church. And I bring this up because I have always been a very inquisitive type of person. Ask my mom. And I always want to get these answers. And then I want to tell people what the answers are. And here's the thing about the truth: you can't handle the truth. People don't want to hear the truth. That means they got to take their whole entire shit and put it all back into a whole other thing. And because what I thought was this is no longer that. It's this whole, It's frustrating, it's scary, and it makes you recognize that you have a lot more control than what you really care to have. And it's scary because if you are in control of everything in your life, that means the things that you're in control of um, can be good and bad. And if you experience bad things in your life, you're like, I didn't do that. There's no way that I caused my cancer. There's no way. I don't believe that. And it gets very upsetting. And that's where Christianity comes into play because they want you to have blame. Who's to blame? There is no blame. So let's put it this way: when it comes to gravity, you understand that there is no blame when it comes to gravity when you fall. You just fell because of the laws of gravity. And you have a healthy respect for the law of gravity because you know that you're not going to walk on top of a bridge and try to walk off thinking that I'm going to float and be okay. You know that is not going to happen. Why? Because you have a healthy fear and respect for gravity. You want to play with the ball, you know it's going to go up and then come down because you respect gravity and you can play with it. We can go into fire. You understand that there's rules and regulations when it comes to fire, and you are going to be extremely cautious with it. However, I do love a nice barbecue. You get what I mean? You're not going to light a match and just let it go on your carpet. You're going to be like, nah, 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 nah. I don't care how much fire resistant this carpet is. I'm not doing that. And I'm not putting my hand underneath the flame either because I have a healthy respect. When it comes to the laws of manifesting, they have that same type of dual healthy respect, but let's deal with it type of thing that you have to have in your mind. However, when there's a misunderstanding about it, then you have Christianity saying this is to blame and that is not, because nobody wants to take responsibility for this lack of respect and understanding for these laws. And there are 7 universal laws that we are always playing with at all times. If you're having thoughts, if you ever have any thoughts, you're dealing with and messing with the laws of the universe. However, it seems kind of scary. You actually have control in adjusting how you think about certain things, if that makes any sense. If anybody has any questions, please ask me these questions and I'll be more than happy to answer it. Oh, Donna, good afternoon. How are you? I just noticed that. Hi, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, if anything that's come up that I'm saying and that may be intriguing to you, please ask the question. And I look way better. I love Kelly. Kelly Rowland, she was a beautiful. She still is beautiful. And I really appreciate that. You're very sweet, and I thank you for sticking around despite all the trolls. If you like what I'm saying, I come on here every day except for Saturday and Sunday, and I do lives and I answer questions. Please follow me. Please follow my page. Please like and share it. If you want somebody that's real and talk about real stuff when it comes to manifesting. And by the way, manifesting complies or is related to real life events, real life events, real life things. It's not just, oh, I want flowers, and then there's flowers. Okay, that's fun. You can do that. But when you're going through shit, in your life where you're like, oh my God, how do I get out of this? This is what you use. Because usually what happens is that you're using it against yourself and then making it go into disarray and problems, and you don't know how to fix it, if that makes any sense. So, yes, manifesting helps is supposed to help you relax your emotions enough so that you can manifest money. I know for a fact there's on people in here that want to manifest money. And when you're lacking the money, the first instinct is to go into a heightened state of fear. And for my Christians or anybody that's ever gone to church, fear ye not is written over 300 times in that Bible. And by the way, Bible and Christianity, two different things. The Jesus of Bible versus the Jesus of Christianity, two different things. They do not connect. They're not the same. Remember, Kardashian. So when you are hearing that, there's a reason, because you're abiding by universal laws at all times. And when you don't control your fear, you are utilizing laws that's going to reflect back to you. So you have more things to be afraid of. So I have listened to manifesting videos when going to bed, but not sure how it works. If I'm sleeping, hopefully you understand what I'm saying. Yes, you're talking about a state akin to sleep. By the way, here's a fun fact that you're talking about is a thing that everybody knows about Neville Goddard, who was a Bayesian person that taught manifesting and had a teacher named Abdullah, an Ethiopian Jew, that taught him about manifesting. Neville Goddard talks about a state akin to sleep. Neville Goddard was a very heavy reader. He read a lot of books. And the book that he read was from a French. This book is from I forgot his name. His name is Charles something. He was actually the person that talked about a state akin to sleep, and I believe it's kind of, is it written some places in the Bible? Basically, what happens is as you're drifting off to sleep, you think about the thing that you would like, but really embody yourself inside of that moment. So you do this when you're like having a bad day and you're thinking about what somebody said to you and you get heated every time you think about it. You're going to do this, but you're going to do it in the positive where you feel really happy every time you think about it. But do it as you're drifting off to sleep. And you keep playing it over and over and over again, like a certain scene that you actually want to experience. So, like somebody's handing you money, right? And you're like, oh, thank you. And you're putting it inside of your wallet, right? You're like, man, because this is a lot of money. Like I'm talking about $11,000. Like, whew, thank you. And you're putting it in your wallet and feel that joy as you're doing it. Then what happens is you will start to drift off asleep. Those will be your last thoughts for the day. And as you do that, you are solidifying it into reality so that it comes into your life. The next day, as you're thinking about money, every time you have bad thoughts about money, you switch it around. Keep doing that every day as you're falling off to sleep, doing these things and reminding yourself, you know what, I do deserve money. Money comes to me easy and effortlessly. Whenever you think bad about money, turn it around. Oh, wait a minute, because my thoughts are really creating reality. Yes, I do read a lot, Milo. I do. I don't feel like I read enough, actually. There's so much stuff that I need to learn that is just I haven't been able to get the time to really get into. State akin to sleep is going to help you get what you want. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be distracted. Your mind is going to be here. Okay, I want that money. The money is here. I'm putting the money in my wallet. Did I do that thing that I said I was supposed to do? And then you realize you're off track. You got to bring it right back. Every time you're off track, you bring it right back. That is what you do. Your mind is going to wander. You go right back to where you're supposed to be going. That is how you deal with a state akin to sleep. Okay? Um, and when you are going through the motions throughout the day, your instinct is to go according to habit, and to where you are like having self-deprecating thoughts, thinking that things are just hard. And when that happens, you have to catch yourself and switch it right back. That's what you need to do. Recognize that the thoughts that you're keeping, they're just bad habits. That's all. They're just bad habits. And we can adjust those things. You can adjust your bad habits. You're able to adjust bad habits. It takes, I say, 21 days to break a habit. And if you guys are into anything to do with numerology, you will find out that 2 plus 1 equals 3. 3, 6, and 9 are universal creation type of numbers. It's very calculating. And I don't go too deep into that because I'm still reading and still learning about it. But it's good to know 3, 6, and 9. It's beginnings of creation and then manifestation. And that's by design. That is by design. Hi, Simplicics. Did I say that right? Simplicits Temple. Thanks for joining. I'm answering questions about manifesting. Somebody was asking me questions about um, state akin to sleep. And if you guys have any questions on on Instagram, please put them inside of that question mark section by the comments to let other people know that I'm answering questions, which will bring more people to come into my live, which I would definitely greatly appreciate. I would love, love, love to have other people join my lives and also join my free class so that, we can get to really talking and I can help give clarity to a lot of things that people are very unclear about. As somebody that has spent a lot of time reading a lot of these things and looking at both sides, it really, really is helpful to be able to have opposing views and be able to just like not debate, decipher what's what. And when you know that there's things that are not adding up, it it helps you to gain some sort of clarity. Yeah, so please ask questions. Some of you guys may not agree with anything that I'm saying, and that's fine. I really don't, I'm not really here to like get on anybody. I'm like, no, that's not what it is, you know. But I'm going to tell you what I know, and then I'll ask you to tell me what you know. I have a lot of times like Christians like will be like, no, Jesus Christ was real. Was real. It's like, okay, well, where do you see his bones? What happened? Can you tell me where you found all that information? It's usually just them hearing stuff from the priests and then watching documentaries about what they speculate may have been the case when it comes to um, ancient Christians, but never anything about actual Jesus Christ. And it's like, well, why is that? Why did that happen? What's going on? Why did Pontius Pilate just not save that as documentation that they crucified this man named Jesus Christ? And then I'll talk to you about what Jesus Christ means according to alchemy, which is what the religions are all based off of, because they have different meanings when you read the Bible versus when you talk about religions. And where the Bible comes from, it's not its own source. It came from other things, and these are like old ancient things that have been passed down by word of mouth. So all these things that I'm talking about have been passed down by word of mouth, as was the custom. And then we started to learn how to write and communicate through these types of things. But it was not always that way. You didn't have cavemen like, your grammar and your penmanship is terrible, Manuk. What is this? You can't go to the teacher with this paper. That's not what was going on. People had much more contact with elders and much more contact with their parents. Children were not seen as a disease as they are now, and there's a lot more that was going on where you're passing things down through religion. I mean, through generations. Okay, and with that happening, and more industrialization, more civilization, things kind of get separated, and you kind of lose a lot of stuff, and things get lost in translation, and it's very interesting. Hi, Mr. 30 Seconds. It's very interesting when you start to learn these things. You're just like, wow, wow. There's a lot of stuff that gets lost. Like we started to do a lot more socially, and then became antisocial, if that makes sense. Anyways, I've been on here long enough, and if anybody has any last minute questions or anything, like have I said anything that has struck a chord that you do not agree with, or that you're inquisitive about, on TikTok? No. With that being said, I have my free class that's tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Zoom. I would love for any of you guys that stayed on here to come in and ask questions and join. And if you do not want to talk, it is not a big deal. You can just send a text message. If you're interested in seeing that class, even if you can't make it, send me an email, oshiftgg at itstheshift.com, and I will send you a link to the recording, and you guys can watch it yourselves and see what I was talking about. Other than that, thank you guys for staying on, and I appreciate you all. I will catch you guys soon. Bye bye.